There you go.
What'd you do?
That wasn't.
Oh. Okay, can you guys hear us now? You can?
We're back.
I don't hear us.
That's me coming up and pushing it.
Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. Apparently I don't know how to push it all the way in.
Things happen. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, that happened to me before, too.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much to everyone on Instagram actually letting us know that you can hear us. Love that.
Yay! Well, we don't have a microphone plugged into Instagram.
Well, that's
so.
okay. I'm still glad that they can hear us.
Instagram's got a better,
audio quality.
Audio quality, yes. Because, last week's show, which is doing fabulous, by the way. What was it? I can't remember.
We talked about Olympics.
Olympics, that's right. So I rewatched that, right, with Steve, and I could not hear us. So we have to talk a little bit more into this.
Sounds
Otherwise,
good.
We're going to have to go back to microphones.
Oh, gosh, yeah, no. We're okay.
And I don't want to go back to microphones. So we're going to be talking back to college. We're going to have two different categories that we're going to talk about today. Back to school. I keep saying back to college. Back to school in general, right?
Yeah.
And because it is August, and a lot of you have already done a lot of your back to school shopping, but there's still last minute things that you need.
Yep.
As well as, and we're not a clothing store for back to school unless you buy vintage.
I was going to say, unless your aesthetic is 70s, 80s, 60s.
Yeah, for high school and college, but, if you're buying for little kids, I don't have a lot of little kids stuff, so, stuff like that. Plus, you go through them, and that's the one place you really need to save money because they go through them so quick. And then ways of saving money if you have multiple kids going to college at different times. So, and then we're going to pivot and talk a little bit about
Cupid babies.
Cupid babies. I don't want to say Cupid dolls because they're not dolls, even though Cupid babies do come in dolls.
Dolls, yeah.
And then birthday girls. So we are doing two different categories tonight. We're going to concentrate a lot on back to college back to school, because we have a lot to offer with that. With the Cupid dolls and the birthday girls, we are going to just talk about those because everybody has birthdays every month, and these are great for especially little girls or people who collect Cupies.
And I wasn't ever interested in them until I did some research on them today and found some cool facts. And now it makes them a little bit cooler.
So why don't we start with back to school?
Sure.
So what do you have? I
have nothing for back to school, to be honest with you.
Did you go to school?
I'm too cool for school. No, yep, I sure did.
So
I know you graduated in California, right?
I did.
Your school's probably a lot cooler than mine.
Not necessarily. I think it's all relative. You went to school in Florida for a long time.
I did.
So you had the same type of experience I did in high school.
Heck yeah.
Where 90% of it was outside.
Yes.
So my high school, everything was outside. We did have indoor classrooms, of course.
So I do have a question. When you were in school, did you guys have home ec? Did they still offer that at?
They did, but the home ec was cooking, sewing, cleaning, stuff like that.
Sure.
It wasn't what it is today, where it's balancing a checkbook, doing your finances,
which is just personal finance,
stuff like that. They have a class for that now.
Yeah, and it's just called personal finance. Well, at least I know at Lakeshore Public Schools they did, but they took away home ec for us.
Well, home ec was only cooking and like how to keep up your house.
But I know it sounds crazy. A lot of people need that.
They also need personal finance.
No,
too.
For sure, agreed.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Do you guys feel like home ec should have ever gotten taken away? I don't.
They might have helped me in cooking. I was never a big cook.
And I was gonna say, even if you're for example, like a man,
I made a chocolate milk
not
pie
really interested.
Once. Isn't that funny?
Well, what if you're not necessarily interested in cooking because you're a man, and usually men don't really like cooking,
They're all saying now they're sound.
Okay, cool.
So there are about 8 million teachers in the U.S. This is, like I said, and
one of them was just here.
Yeah. One of the new ones.
Yep.
So this is 2017, so it's prior to COVID, and I can guarantee less.
Probably. Oh, really?
I would say it was less. We lost a lot of school teachers
true.
because a lot of schools didn't. Also, a lot of people stayed home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the kids teaching kids at home,
which is also very scary.
It can be, but they do have home teaching for kids, like school curriculum.
We one of our viewers says, I don't think that they would want it to get taken away. It says, when I was in high school, they didn't offer it, but I think I would have taken it. It was
so when I was in high school, home ec was the float class, meaning that if you if you were able to elect home ec, it was because you wanted to either A, sleep, B, slide, and or get credits quickly.
Sure.
There was no real. I mean, people probably took it and had real, obtained something real from it, but everybody I knew took it to
Just
sleep.
sure.
So, if home ec does come back, then I think they should pair it with personal finance.
That would be great.
Because your personal finance is your house and everything in it.
Or, like, for example, they should at least just have, like, something where it teaches, like, young adults just, like, basic life skills. Mm-hmm. Like, I know it sounds very silly, but not everybody has, like, either or parent to, like, teach them how to change a tire or just, like, very basic things. I feel like it would be extremely detrimental to a lot of people right now.
There's a lot of that. I mean, even for elderly people, basic thing classes
100%.
like how to work the internet, how to deal with internet bullies, how to do stuff like that, right? Because your local cities, they have computer classes for senior citizens, but they're not what they need, really.
Right, yeah. They need something more.
Well, no, they need everyday stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how do you check messages on Facebook? How do you take a picture and send it? We deal with a lot of people. You can laugh.
I know, that's why I'm laughing.
You can laugh, but we work with a lot of people who are elderly, who need to, sell some stuff, who need to downsize.
But it makes me chuckle because they pull out like the iPhone 15 and they're like, I don't know how to send a picture.
But they probably don't. It was probably their kids telling them, you need the new phone. Let's get you the new phone.
True that.
Stuff like that, because most people over the age of 70, they like the flip phones.
But you're taking pictures of your grandkids.
But they're not sending them anywhere.
That's
they're
so
keeping
true.
them. Do you know what I mean? So basic stuff like that, I think, is very important to do, without making the person feel like they should have already known it.
No, for sure. And see, that's my problem. Is I feel like my mom should already know how to work her newest phone.
There are approximately 33 million elementary school children in the U.S., 17 million kids attending high school, and 8.8 little ones in nursery school and kindergarten. There are approximately 33 million elementary school children in the U.S., 17 million kids attending high school.
Steve, do you mean, like, for you to personally do your laundry? Or was that...
That's, you know what? They did it at San Jose State, too. They had sign up on how to do laundry.
Oh, okay. That was going to be my next question. Or was it a class to teach you how to do laundry?
It was probably a class to teach you how to do laundry because, especially boys, guess who did all their laundry?
Yeah, their mom, yeah.
Their mom or their dad did it because they just threw their clothes down.
Yeah.
So by the time a lot of the guys got to, and today that might be a little bit different, but a lot of the guys, they just threw everything into the laundry. And in went the soap and possibly bleach sometimes, not knowing that it was going to, that some of that will come out this big and some will come out striped.
Guilty.
Do you know what I mean? So it's basic stuff.
No, yeah, for sure.
When you get into college age and you can't load a washer, to me, and I have no kids, so I'm an expert, there's a failure somewhere.
No, yeah. Felt.
But raising kids is not easy, so little things fall through the cracks.
Yeah, that's okay. But that's why other people are here to say, man, come on, you don't know how to separate your delicates from your non-delicates?
So, back to school. How many people, and please tell us, how many people, rush around in August to buy back-to-school stuff for their kids? Regardless of their age and what school they go to, college, high school, elementary, and grade school. Because even college... I have a lot of friends and a lot of people who have college-age children who are in their 1st through 4th year who they still go and buy everything for and send it. Not everything they need, but stuff they think they might want.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, when you're shopping... So, Steve, let me ask some people who went to college here who have... It's expensive. Or let me talk to some people because I keep forgetting my age range has children in college.
Yeah.
Actually, my children would have children in college.
You're so funny.
So, college is expensive. There was a time in the 80s when they said raising one child is $1 million. Right? Today, that $1 million is till they're 18 and not including college, because college alone could be $1 million, depending on what you're going with, right? Or at least several thousand to hundreds of thousands. So when you don't have a scholarship, you don't have a trust fund, you don't have parents that are hedge fund, managers in Manhattan, somebody's got to pay for that stuff.
Right.
So we tend to put ourselves in debt by getting all these loans and stuff like that. And the parents do the best they can. So they will buy the books, right? Mm-hmm. Books are expensive. College-age books are expensive. High school books are expensive if you have to buy them. And in these days, you have to pretty much buy them if you want your child learning something current.
Right.
College books can cost
hundreds.
They can be several $100s for one book.
And that's it.
So when a parent who is in their 50s is helping take a child to college, let's say, and they have to stay in the dorm room for the first year. Most children do. Most college people do. You have to whether you have a roommate or not, you still have to provide living abilities for your child. And that can get expensive. And I worked for Bed Bath & Beyond for years, and we had a process where you could scan the items you wanted at your local Bed Bath & Beyond, and then pick them up at the college that you were at, right? Well, Bed Bath & Beyond is gone. Bed Bath & Beyond is gone. Sears is gone. JCPenney's is gone. Kmart's gone. You have Walmart and Target.
I would say Big Lots is going away, and so is Walgreens.
Yep. You have Big Lots and Target. So the average, and this is stated, the average lifespan of something new that you buy from Amazon, Wayfair, Target, Walmart is 1 quarter. So it's an average of replacing that item 4 times in 1 year for something new.
Now imagine if you have 5 kids.
Well, yes. So you go to Walmart or you go to Target and you buy a bed in the bag, you buy a desk, or even IKEA for that matter, you guys, because you need the bed in the bed, you need the desk, you need stuff like that, right? How to work what?
Steve said it was a class to show you how to work the machine.
All right, so help me with my train of thought. Isn't that awful?
We're talking about...
So Target, so the average lifespan of something new is a quarter. It's every 3 months. So every 3 months you'll have to, this is for dorm room stuff, okay? IKEA, stuff like that, because these are people who are not the most, they're not the most gentle with items.
Sure.
You're in college, you're going to party for at least the first year.
Right.
Right? And even if you're not a partier, you're going to be at that desk all the time studying. Busy. You're going to be using all that stuff. You're going to be, and so it gets expensive, especially if there's 4 of you.
Right.
If there's 4 kids in the family and they're 2 years apart, you have one kid going off to college that you're paying for, to fill the dorm room. Then they move 2 grades and you have this kid going to the dorm room. And this kid has lost all their stuff because it was all brand new, it was all cheap, and it was all broken. So now you have to then shell out for this kid.
And the next time.
And the next 2 years, this kid. So it becomes to the point where it's overwhelming, and you can't. By the time the 4th kid comes, you are either dead from stress.
You have a comment.
Hey, how's it going? I don't think so. When I was in high school, they didn't offer it, but I think I would have taken it. Yeah. Oh, Adam?
That
Adam.
was
I'm doing good. So, I'm reading handles. I can't always remember who the person is.
No, yeah.
Rather than seeing the names. But so you're either dead from stress, or you are completely broke or in debt, or you cannot help that final child.
And we're talking about just dorm room things.
That's it. And we're talking about material stuff that you have to sit on, sleep on, eat on, and bathe in.
And now let's talk about the fact of what if you're taking an extracurricular activity.
Oh.
Such as sports, wrestling, theater, choir, whatever it may be. That's still an additional couple hundreds, several hundred
sometimes thousands. If you're into golf or hockey, you can pretty much...
And
the equipment's crazy.
ironically, the segment that I watched earlier on the news this morning was talking about sports and going back to school and how a lot of kids nowadays are feeling that pressure to get a scholarship because they don't want to put that financial burden on their family. And a lot of kids don't get scholarships. So then they feel like just because they didn't get that full sale to college, that it's not worth it for them to play anymore. And statistically shown, 27% of kids feel that way in America and don't pursue it because they just...
Well, they don't want to put their parents in debt.
Exactly.
Or they don't want to be in debt.
And also, too, because parents are also, just by human nature, they're not going to want to say no to something like that. Well, of course not.
They want their child to succeed.
So then, yet again, we're back into the perpetual debt of just like...
Right.
You know, it's like a story that
or feeling like a failure or inadequate because you have to tell your child that you can't afford it.
Because unfortunately they also didn't get a scholarship, so that's
right.
the reason why they can't go.
And you don't want them to be in, $40, $50, $100,000 debt when they get out of school.
Exactly.
So we're going to give you some options here before we get into QPs and everything. I hit that mic. So anyways, let's talk about dorm rooms first.
Yeah.
Okay. So dorm room's one of the main things that you got to get is a bed. You're going to have to buy that, probably new, or I would suggest going, sometimes they provide the bed. In a lot of the dorm rooms, the bed will be there. But you'll need your own bedding and stuff like that. I am of the fact that everything can be secondhand with the exception of a few things. If you need to buy new, the only thing in my mind that you really need to buy brand new is anything that goes into your body.
Sure. Like a toothbrush.
Toothbrush, toothpaste, stuff like that, deodorant. I mean, they were new. But everything else, did we just lose? It just blinked.
I did see that, but no, it didn't stop.
Is this Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the things that you buy new. So when you go out and you go to Walmart and Target, everything you need for back to college for the whole first year should fit in one basket.
Sorry, I'm going to go read this because it's
That's
not coming
okay.
up anymore. Okay.
What did it say?
It wasn't that either. It wasn't a comment. It was just me person watching. So, hello.
Oh, hello. And so so everything else should be secondhand, can be secondhand. And people sit there and go, and we were talking about this morning, or this afternoon, about why do people have that stigma against something somebody else had?
It is a constant fear of 100% FOMO.
FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
To get the new stuff, yes.
It's like, unfortunately, and I would say anybody who is alive right now is experiencing it in some way.
Oh, absolutely, because adults do it with their neighbors, keeping 100%. Up with the Joneses. Mean Girls. Let's talk about Mean Girls.
Yes.
The movie Mean Girls. Everybody wanted what she was wearing.
Regina.
What Regina had. So they would go out and they would put themselves in debt to dress like her.
And then, I always tell myself this, and I learned this from my dad. He said, Jasmine, you will never want a $1,000 purse with $10 in it.
No.
You should have a $10 purse with $1,000 in it.
Correct. So we are conditioned throughout life. We are told when we're little, ooh, you have cooties, stay away. Ooh, you have cooties, you have cooties, you have cooties, you have cooties.
Right.
As adults, we know different. But we still have that stigma in our mind that because you had it on, or somebody I didn't care had it on, or somebody who you felt was not clean enough had it on.
Or I need the validation from social media. And it's like, people won't ever tell you the bad things that are happening in their life, but they will for sure tell you when they just got the new BMW.
Oh, absolutely.
Or when they got the newest iPhone.
Absolutely. So we have that condition that we need to move apart because there are things. So how many times have you borrowed clothes from somebody, a friend?
A lot. Actually.
A lot, right? How many times have you walked in and saw David's shirt and you're like, I just
need this, yes, all the time.
So constantly even those of us who are very new driven, have worn our friends' clothing, have worn our parents' clothing, have worn, other people's clothing. So there is something that we all have, or we all have access to, that makes it okay to wear other people's clothes, and it's called a washer and dryer.
You're so
Do you know what I mean? Because I can guarantee you that the shirt you're wearing is a lot cleaner than some of the stuff I have.
Did you know statistically, brand new clothes on a clothing rack, like let's just say front window in an H&M, is 85% more dirtier than you would think it was? Because it's just traveled from X, Y, Z, sat on a plane, sat on a bus, sat on a boat.
We take our new stuff home and we wash it and we put it on.
You would hope.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I do. But we will turn our head up to a thrift store or a vintage store or, getting clothes for free because why? You didn't buy them?
Exactly.
Then buy them from a vintage store or buy them from a thrift store.
And, believe it or not, some people still don't get that concept either.
No, because they have to have everything new.
Those cool teenagers earlier, actually, he was trying to tell his girlfriend, like, this is a vintage and an antique store. So she was just like, well, everything's old in here. And he was like, yes and no.
Right.
Like, obviously, this is an old Toastmaster,
right.
but it still works, so technically it's new and I can still use it.
It's new to you.
It's exactly. It's old to be new to you.
So we all go out and we buy used cars. I can guarantee you there's been dirtier things that happen in those cars than the outfit you're wearing today. So some of the options you can do. I printed off a list of things that you like. Here is Target. So we're going to look at Target, you guys. We're going to use Target. Now they're going to probably sue me for doing this. College checklist. So catch some Z's. They're talking pillows, twin XLs, bed bug protectors. A lot of this you're going to buy new because of the fact that bed bug protectors, stuff like that, you're going to buy new. Sheets. Do you have to buy sheets new?
No, not necessarily.
No, right?
You can find some really cool vintage ones.
You can find some really cool vintage ones. And in college towns, they will have college size at twin XL long sheets in their vintage stores and in their thrift stores.
Heck yeah. Because
they know that they'll need it. So by going to like Target or to ordering online and getting a bed in a bag that fits a twin, extra long, which is what you need for colleges, you're going to pay $50 to $100 when you can go. What?
I was just making the.
Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. Where you can go to a thrift shop or a vintage store, if you go to a vintage store, you're going to buy something extremely cool, like with some nice 60s print that is going to scream your identity.
Yes.
Okay, which is what you want because you're coming into your own.
Of course.
So you want to scream your identity. Or you can go on to Wayfair and you can buy what everybody else buys.
Right.
All the beige, the brown, the blue.
The minimalistic lifestyle.
Right. When you can get one from vintage or antiques, that's going to be softer. It's just going to be better, in my mind. But you know what? If you are going to buy something new, you're going to sleep 30% of your life in that bed.
Enjoy it.
But when you pig out, meaning food, let's talk about that for a minute before we get into So I have the little carriers I'm going to show you because you have to go there. But silverware, vintage and antique, you go somewhere new and you buy a set of silverware. It can be anywhere from $25 up to several $100s, right? You don't need all of that silverware, right? Because it's going to be 2 of you in that room, maybe 4 if you have guests over, because dorm rooms are not big. Or if you even want to play setting for 6, you can't always get that new.
Right.
Here you can buy individual.
And that'll save
vintage and antique. And look at them. They're cool.
It'll not only save room, it'll save money as well.
They'll save money and room. So, picking these up, and trust me, you throw them in the dishwasher, and you hand wash them in college, unfortunately.
Can you those if those are lucite? Can you with those if those are lucite?
Yeah, you can. But not all dorm rooms have dishwashers. So you're
that's going to be my next question.
Yeah, you're going to hand wash. I would recommend that one of the things on the list is a can opener and a can opener and a bottle opener. So you can do both in one.
That's lit.
Right, both in one from a vintage store. And this is IBM. So if you were a computer tech, the vintage computer stuff would be great to have. Conversation piece and utility. I highly recommend a hand crank.
Me too.
Now this is the one that I have from the back that we use because I don't have one here, but we carry the hand cranks. I would always consider having a hand crank, and you're probably thinking, why? You have pull top lids on these cans now. Not all of them.
I would say literally not all.
Not all of them. And then you'll end up like me, and you will buy the one that doesn't and not be able to open it.
Me?
You'll be doing it with this all the way around.
And then you still can't get the lid off.
Right, I know. Or you slice your hand off.
Me, that would be
doing
me.
it.
I'd cut my hand
right,
off.
And then we'll get to that in a minute. One of the other things is I'm going to let her... Can you grab me some of the Crazy Daisy?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people consider dinnerware, right? You need bowls, you need a plate, you need something to eat on, right? So you can go out and you can buy all this fantastic plasticware from Target that's going to cost that you're going to buy a 6 or 8 or 12 place settings, which you do not need all of that. You know, something to that effect. You're going to wash it. A lot of people do use paper plates, and if you do, we have holders for those. No, I meant the plates.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're going to need holders for those and everything. So, she's going to be bringing around some of the alternatives you can use because we all grew up with Corelle, right? Corelle is break resistant. I'm not going to say that it's unbreakable because when it breaks, it shatters. We all know that. Sorry, you guys. I'm just waiting for her to bring that over. What are you grabbing?
The plate.
Oh, you can grab anything. I just have to
Okay.
show. Yeah, that's all. So Corelle, and you know, they're cool patterns. These are the teacup saucers, but the plates look exactly the same. These are very durable plates.
What is falling?
Nothing, that's me hitting them.
Oh.
Very durable plates. They're easy to clean and work with. They're Corelle, they're cheap. $5. They're cheap. Can you hand me the paper plate holders underneath the ball?
Underneath the ball.
The ball, the red ball up on top.
yes.
Yep. So if you do want to go with paper plates, then I would highly suggest something like this that you can put the paper plate in.
And it has a handle.
And it has a handle. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to use a plate because you're going to be sitting at the desk eating while you're working.
Right.
While you're studying. You know, if you're eating while you're watching TV, something like this would work great
Perfect.
because you have your handle and you can sit it on.
Oh, and we can't forget TV trays.
TV trays or the lap test trays.
Yep.
With the handles, which we have over there, are great to sit to watch TV and eat. These are good and easy storage. You can put them under the bed. You can do anything with them. So these are the things that you want to get. You do not need to go and buy brand new on all of this. These are the stuffs. Now, as I'm talking about this with you guys and going through these for back to college, you want to make sure that if you have another kid going to college in 2 years, that when this child is done with this stuff, because it is vintage and antique, which means it is going to last longer, it's made better. Oh yeah, perfect. So this, as you're sitting across bed, because you see the bottom of it, it's tiny. It sits over your legs when you're laying in bed. This would be great to have while you're eating and watching TV. You can slap your laptop on it while you're working. Mm-hmm. You could do schoolwork on it so you don't have to sit at your desk. You can lay down. These are extremely, extremely beneficial when you're in college.
And it's lightweight.
It's lightweight, and you can fold it down and use it as a tray if you have guests over.
Oh, heck yeah, look at that.
Yep. Fold it down. Easy storage. It can slide under your mattress or under your bed.
Love that.
You can use it as a tray. So this has multiple uses for college. If you are in boarding school, if you are in any school that requires you to stay there, these are very handy.
And imagine going
and
over
they're not
for
expensive. $30 at 20% off. This is $25.
And like a study session, you can just put all your stuff on this and get going.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be sick.
So these are, and we've got several different kinds of them here. These are a great thing because what they have now is those pillows with the wood on top.
I hate them.
And this, you can actually move your waist and your feet without moving what's on that.
The whole thing, I hate mine.
Mm-hmm. And you can pick it up and just set it onto the counter.
Without everything being all Cali
right, because you got a flat edge with edges.
Edges, right.
Yep.
Am I taken?
Yep. So that is for food and everything, right? So toiletries, because if your dorm room is any like I've ever been in, then you know that you do not have a bathroom in your dorm, right? So you have to hightail down to the bathroom to take a shower. So you got to carry everything with you.
Like this.
So carrying cases, grab the other one too. So carrying cases, they sell by the dozen during back to college, right? Or if you're in a live-in high school, a boarding school, anything like that, these are essential. And I am holding 2 actual, this says Tasty Loaf, a Blue Label product. So this is an advertisement for cheese, Kraft.
From Chicago, Illinois.
From Chicago, Illinois. So let's say you're going to college in New York City or San Francisco, and you're from Chicago. You have a piece of home here.
Yeah, this is lit.
Right? You have a piece of home. This will fit your soap, your stuff like that. If
your
you have
rag,
your
can roll 'em up
rags,
in there, your towels.
And it is wood, so you could easily line this. So that way you don't have to worry about the
wood softening
stuff,
or anything.
yeah, the wood softening or whatever. These are really, really good to use, to carry, because you're not gonna, if you have to have it in the bathroom, then you have to use a plastic one. Or in the shower.
My first brain went to, if someone attacks me in the shower, I'm hitting them with this.
Right, but these give, I mean, and especially if you have to carry your silverware somewhere.
No, yeah.
If you have to carry anything, because there's a lot of walking in dorms, these are great. Plus they give character.
Right.
Scream your
personality. Your identity.
So if you love the woodworking classes, if you love vintage antique,
make yourself
if you like unique, or then you slap. You know what? Let's say you're a traveler. You travel all over the world. So you remember those old suitcases that had all the stickers on them?
Yeah. That'd be super cool.
You put stickers all over them. Let's say you're a big Pokemon collector, like your other half. Right? You slap this full of Pokemon stickers.
You hear that? You can get a new carrying case.
Or you're going to play Magic or Pokemon. What will fit in there?
Your dice, your cards,
your
everything.
dice, your cards, your everything in that. So see, these have multiple uses. You can use them for everything. Everything. And you don't need to be like every Tom, Dick, and Harry that goes to everywhere and have the same thing that everybody else has, is because you're a unique person, so stand out.
Heck yeah. And show them the difference you can make. Exactly.
I mean, these are all tool carrying cases that work great.
Shower utensils are tools.
They are.
Shower's a job.
So they fit in there nicely, as you can see. Different sizes for different things. So that's shampoo. If you're going to carry it, it would fit.
Your
stuff
towels,
like that.
again.
Your towels.
Your shower sandals would fit in here.
Some of the other things. So I gave her a list of things to pull, and so we printed off this list.
Yep.
And we did a list of things to pull.
What I got.
So here we have, because food storage, right?
Yep.
So.
College kids will eat anything.
Right. Tupperware.
For your ramen and your fried chicken.
Just leftovers when you go out to dinner.
Yep.
Because you don't have a lot of space in a refrigerator in a dorm room, you're not going to keep all of those leftovers inside their styrofoam cases, so you don't have room.
Oh, to just be Meadow Soprano, where you would get baked ziti every week from your mom.
That's different. But you know, Tupperware works great.
And these two, you can also tell them about the burping lid,
right.
And that was keep
and
your
when they're not
extra
being
crisp.
used, they stack.
They stack
into each
and they're
other.
cute too.
Yep.
You can store them for certain things like erasers or paper clips when you're done.
Coffee cups, because we are going into college, so you're up all night studying. Coffee is much better than Adderall, people. I'm not naive to know that.
You're so funny.
So coffee cups, you can get coffee cups that reflect your personality.
Heck yeah.
Instead of just having plain ones, right? Water bottles, because you carry a water bottle all the time.
All the time.
Right?
Like, literally, it's right here.
So how about not be like everybody else?
This was a giveaway prize.
I know.
Thanks.
She didn't pay for it. And again, scream your personality.
Show up with the snap into a Slim Jim.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
You know, honestly, that just unlocked a memory in my brain. They don't even say that anymore.
No. But this right here, can you imagine? You're walking down your first year in college. You're already worried. You're already nervous because you're a little fish in a big pond. When you just left the little pond as a big fish.
Right.
And you went into the big pond as a little fish.
If I was a freshman and I walked in and my roomie had that, I'd be like, I'm in a good place.
Right. So, or if your roomie was like, if you and your roomie walked in and had this, you would be like, I'm okay.
Yes. You'd be like, these are my people.
Because this screams your personality. You are going off to college. You are going back to school because even in high school, you probably carried.
Oh yeah.
These.
You gotta stay
this
hydrated,
works.
guys.
And I know it's big, so sitting it in your locker is going to take up most of it.
I would just carry it everywhere.
But you know what I mean? Hey, why be like everybody else?
You know, it's so funny. Before Stanley's, everyone just had one of those.
Oh really?
Well, yeah, because you would get them at like 7-Eleven
Oh,
or
yeah.
Speedway,
Yep.
and then, you know, people would just refill them every day.
Well, that would be before probably Yeti.
Oh, yeah.
Because Yeti's then Stanley.
So, yes.
So I'm still stuck on the Yeti.
The Yetis is good.
So trash cans are necessary. Now
Of
you have to
course.
have a big trash can, but if you have one next to your bed or something like that,
You need something to throw your trash balls into.
you can go out. You can buy a Oomba. Is that what they're
A
called?
Roomba.
Oomba.
Roomba, the little...
No, the trash cans. It's by the company Oomba.
Oh.
UMBA.
Oh.
Yep. That's what you see at Target, and it's those metal ones.
Oh,
those real
really?
Nice ones that start at $50 for one this size.
I was going to say, yeah, like a trash can that's
This
$50.
this is $20, $25.
It's very cute.
And it's cute, and it's lasted for 70 years. It'll
It's
last
metal.
for another 70 years. So this could show up in every one of your kids' dorms.
And it's cute. It's not even like a
Yeah.
bad trash can, you know?
And if you go from a girl and you have a boy coming in, guess what? He doesn't like that. Look, it's plain
Boom.
on that side.
It's gold now.
It's plain. Paint something on it. So I told you to pick out a bedside lamp.
I sure did.
So tell me why you picked this one.
Because it is 100,000% nostalgic, and if you guys, I don't think you can see it. This is one of the 360 rotating fish.
Hi,
tank
Maria.
lamps. The 365 rotating fish tank lamp. Honestly, I freaking loved mine, and I used it until it literally wouldn't spin anymore.
Oh, that's awesome. And these are good for bedside lamps.
No, yeah, they're very
Yeah.
bright, too.
Not to read under, for the most part,
Yeah.
probably. You would need something like this that you chose.
Which is not only one, very small, so it doesn't take up a lot of space,
Mm-hmm.
but two, it actually attaches here to your desk, or to anything for that matter, the side of your
Mm-hmm.
bed, maybe your bed frame, the desk.
And we have a whole bunch of standard ones, too.
Oh yeah, like actual tabletop
Yeah.
ones where you can angle, point them in different spots, different colors,
Yeah.
styles, aesthetics,
Pencil sharpeners.
which are super cool.
Because, I don't know, do they still use pencils for testing?
Of course.
Yeah.
But
so-
they're all mechanical.
Yeah, but it's still fun to have that.
Of
People will be like,
course.
huh? But see, you can do like the regular size ones that you can put down for a regular
Spotlight, yeah.
desk. And, something like this, this is older, this is vintage, it's cool, people will love it.
The color.
The color, it's all metal, so
And
it's
it's
going to
tall.
last. And so if you have multiple kids, spending, $75 to $100 on a lamp that is going to last for, what is that, 4, probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years
Yeah.
between kid and kid. You want to do that rather than spending $50 on a plastic one that you have to replace twice every year
So imagine it
for
getting knocked
every
off the
kid.
desk. Yep. Getting knocked off the desk.
Yep.
Getting tripped over.
Yep.
Anybody new? Oh, hi, Maria.
So these are things that you can do. She's causing a ruckus.
I am. Good thing nothing broke. Oh, nope, that's where the fish lamp goes.
Yeah. So alarm clocks, because we all need alarm clocks. We have a variety of them. You can have some really cool. None of ours will project on the ceiling or have Bluetooth technology. Back scratcher?
I was going to say, yeah, you can't go to college without this.
I know. A back scratcher. Now my back's itches.
Itchy?
So, they won't have Bluetooth. They won't have stuff like that.
But that's okay.
But that's okay, because I'm going to tell you right now that there are times when we have storms and we lose our power, and you still have to get up in the morning. And if your cell phone is low and you cannot have that wake you up, your Bluetooth, your
Wi-Fi related alarm clock is
yeah,
gone.
it's gone. It's not going to work.
It's
So
obsolete.
having something that is battery driven is always good to have with you, because remember we did that show about we always tell you what to keep in your car during
course.
bad weather, but never what to keep in your house.
Mm.
If you're going to college and you still, because I'm going to tell you right now, because there's a storm outside and there's no power in the dorms, that does not mean you're off school today.
Right.
That
You
just
still
means
gotta go.
that you have better figure out a different way of getting up and getting to class, right? Because the power may not be out over
there, right.
So these are good to have. These are battery ones. They have for a backup. It's even got a radio because,
Steve
we
gave
depend
us-
so much on electricity and Wi-Fi that there are people who would not even be able to listen to music if their phone isn't charged and they don't have electricity.
I would die. I don't know what I would do.
Right. So having something like this, even if it's AM like like, you know, music for your great grandparents.
No, yeah.
It's still sound.
Steve gave us that older alarm clock. Here he said it was too new, but I still felt like it was pretty vintage, which was cool. I liked it because I like getting up to the sound of an actual alarm clock, because once I hear that song on my phone, I will never want to hear that song ever again. At least all I have to do is listen to beeps.
Is that globe over there?
No, there's
Can you
one.
hand me that globe?
You want the big one or the small one?
The cork one. All right, so small tools, because we all need small tools, so those are great to have for it. See, this is all stuff that people go out to 5 different places and they buy new. You don't need to. Come here, it's one spot. This is also a cork board.
Ooh.
So we have. Yeah. So cork boards are necessary. Whether you use it for notes or whatever, or you use it for cards, or you use it for pictures of you and your friend that you have printed out to put on there, cork boards are still necessary, right?
Oh.
Because in a lot of dorms, you cannot put anything on the wall. So, like, you know, push pins on the wall. So this is great. And if you are, let's say you are going to be a world traveler somehow, you've got this, which is a cork board that you can put. And can you imagine the people who would be like, wow, that's a globe made of cork.
Cork, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And imagine being able to pin everywhere.
And imagine that this is from the 50s or the 60s, and there's not a damn pinhole in it.
That's amazing, though.
That blows my mind.
Somebody probably used it as like a legitimate globe.
Right. See, I would have pinholes everywhere I wanted to go.
Me too.
But these are great to have, you guys. And this is not only is it good for notes, but it's good for conversation piece
and
too.
this has only been used a couple of times
Yeah.
as well.
So cork boards. And finding old-fashioned cork boards, good luck, because they're the real big, you know, ugly ones. These are cool, you guys, and they'll last forever. And even though you have one kid who uses this for the whole year, I can guarantee you, once they're done with it, it can still be used.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It can still be, maybe not this, but that can. And then padlocks.
Need. On that for
Padlocks.
everything.
Especially if you have roommates, you guys. And we have old-fashioned padlocks that have the, okay, here let me tell you, there is something you should never, ever buy, you guys, and that is Bluetooth locks.
Oh my God, that's a thing?
Yeah. That unlock it with your phone.
Who would trust that?
Well, the same way that buildings do. Now you buy apartments and and your key is your phone, unlocking it.
All it takes
Your
is
phone you could lose your phone, you guys.
Yeah.
And how are you going to open your lock? I am not a fan of Wi-Fi enabled locks.
Me neither.
Not a fan.
That sounds ludicrous.
Because I would be locked in somewhere.
Yeah, same.
I would be. Especially you would be, because your phone's never
It's always
charged.
dead.
So these are important to get locks. Ring standard locks. Because all of your important paperworks, if you're here from another country, you have your passports, you have your passports, you have your school visa, you have stuff like that. You need to lock those up. And having a safe is great, but if it is Wi-Fi enabled, don't do that. Have a standard safe, have a standard box that you lock that has a key or a combo. Period.
You got to take it old school, literally.
Yes, because you cannot trust technology to be 100% all of the time.
Did we talk about how we need more than one towel?
You need a lot of towels.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get that. Men don't get that.
And these are not bath towels, but you're talking about bath towels.
Yep. Those
And
ones
shower
are good
sheets
towels,
are
yeah.
good too, because if you have to walk back, then sheets work great because you can cover yourself. And when I say a shower sheet, I don't mean a bed sheet.
No, I know what you mean. It's like a terry cloth fabric, like a dress almost.
And people, those of you who don't do a lot of cooking, who said, "Oh, I'm just going to eat out all the time," which that will not happen, even though it sounds great. You need dish towels and washcloths for standard use, not just to wash your body.
Right.
You need them to wipe things down. You need them to just have.
Yep. Dust. Pick things
So
up.
I have heard several guys talk, and I don't know why it's always guys. Oh, I don't need that. What are you going to use? Your clothes?
Yeah, honestly.
To
And
wipe
they're
your
like,
mouth? To
they're
clothes?
like,
To
"Yep, absolutely."
you need these.
They're like,
And
wow.
the vintage ones have really cool.
I like that blue one a lot.
I do too. We got Halloween ones over there.
I know,
too.
I seen. I was tempted to grab those, but they didn't match.
So anyways, that is a lot of back to college stuff. So as you can see, you do not need to buy brand new. You can very easily get by, save your parents some money, save yourself some money. Trust me, you save your parents money, and they will forever be happy.
What better way to show up to your first freshman class or your freshman dorm room with your new roomies and to stunt on everybody with the latest vintage items? Because you guys know vintage and antique items are trendy right now.
You know, we have a friend that owns a vintage clothing store
Oh.
in Ann Arbor,
Oh.
just a block away from the quad of University of Michigan. They do very well because the amount of people that go in there to shop vintage because it is the in thing right now and has been for some time. It's crazy. So I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it sure is.
And you have a bigger selection nowadays.
Yes.
Much bigger selection.
Everyone's getting rid of their stuff.
And everybody's getting, and all the big boxes are disappearing.
Which is scary, honestly.
It is scary because there are certain things you need. I miss going and trying on pants.
No, right, exactly. Do you hear what he just said? He said, I miss going and trying on pants. Me
I do.
The fact that we can't even do that
I
or
can
talk
never
about that now.
hit the buy button because I don't know if it's going to fit me.
And I remember like 2 years ago you bought a pair of pants and you were just like, I'm not even going back to Riley Crossing to return these. I'm not. And nope.
No, because I don't have time for that. And I do not have your standard body.
You're a pretty tall person.
I'm 6'4" and I'm 260 pounds. My torso is longer than my legs.
Sure.
So buying clothes online is very difficult for somebody like this, and back to college as well, or back to school as well, because all of this ties right into high school as well, or even grade school for that matter. Over here, pens, pencils, fun pencils. I mean, you go to grade school, you're going into 6th grade with this, or with something like this, and you're writing.
I always had one of those.
I mean, you're going to be popular. Kids are going to be like, where'd you get that?
Especially with this $100 bill one, of course.
So we do have stuff, and there are programs that we can help you with on getting you in contact with that provides a lot of the backpacks and stuff filled with stuff. I know, isn't that cool?
You could be the coolest kid on campus with this multicolor changing pen.
That's bigger than anything else, than a wand. So back to college. Check out your local thrift. Check out your local vintage antique store because you will find so much more there that your kid's going to love and that you're going to love in the long run.
And not only will you save time, but you're also going to save hella money too.
Tons of money.
Hella.
So Kewpie dolls.
Kewpie dolls, yes.
So tell us, so we have a few minutes that we're going to talk about Kewpie dolls. She loves Kewpie dolls. We're pivoting. Remember, we're going to do 2 titles, even though we ran mostly on Back to College.
That's okay, because I can spit it all out really quickly.
Yes, go ahead, and I'm going to show close-ups.
Okay, cool. We only have a couple of Kewpie babies because recently they did get really popular, so somebody did take all of our little babies home.
So, can I explain real quick?
Go
A
ahead.
Kewpie baby is not just any baby, you guys. It's not just any baby. They must have the wings on the back. Right here. You can see a wing there and a wing here.
No wings equal no Kewpie.
No wings equal no Kewpie. This is a wing right here underneath, and this is a wing. Hi, you guys. If you look here, you're going to see the wings on each side under the ear. So Kewpie require wings on the back of the babies.
2 wings.
2 wings. Although this one has 1 because his hand is covering the other.
The other one, right.
Yep. It's a cake topper, people. It's a Kewpie cake topper. Isn't that cute? Go ahead.
Okay, so founded in 1919, they celebrated their 100th anniversary birthday in 2019, and unfortunately the outbreak of the Pacific War in 1941 made it almost impossible to obtain the very important ingredients for this mayo. And in 1943, Shogun Kugio was forced to halt manufacturing because it went against his beliefs to only have to buy all of his ingredients from the black market. That's how he felt when he had to halt all of his mayo production. Also, Instagram. I hope you guys got the poll right. I will be checking when we get off live. And in 1910, Nakashima spent about 3 years in the UK and the US back and forth as an overseas intern of Japan Department of Agriculture and Commerce. And this was when he first encountered orange marmalade and mayo mixed together.
What is
Which is
this?
gross. Kewpie babies.
Oh.
And in 1920...
Orange marmalade and what?
Mayo mixed together on a sandwich. 1925, he then launched Kewpie Mayo, and that's where the Kewpie babies officially got introduced for the very first time.
I'm going to tell you the reason he's crying is because they made him eat
Orange
marmalade
and
with
mayo.
mayonnaise. So now he's crying.
We also have to remember that this started in Japan, so their taste
Their
buds
food,
are
yeah,
different. Yes.
And see, this one's like, I liked it.
So
I liked it.
Fun fact, it was never actually called Kewpie Babies. They changed their name in 1957, so they went over 40 years without the name Kewpie Baby or Kewpie
What
Mayo
were they
at all.
called?
Shogun Kaigo Corporations Ltd.
That's the name of the corporation,
Yeah.
so they didn't really have a name.
Exactly. It was like
Right.
just the guy's
But
name.
I find it funny because it's KW, so for Kewpie.
Yeah.
Do you see underneath?
Number 228.
Yeah. And you know it's a pair because both of them have the same number. It's a pair because both of them have the same number.
So do you know how he came up with Kewpie Mayo?
Oh.
He unfortunately seen too many overweight Japanese people and said, how can I make a condiment and allow people to lose weight at the same time? So that's how
So
he
you made a condiment nobody wanted to eat.
ate, exactly. And his
I guess that works.
his thought was is to make it most nutritious was to only use egg yolk instead of egg whites, but then he became so popular and he was creating 100,000 cases a day that he felt like using the egg whites was wasteful. So then he came up with another recipe which was French dressing and used the egg whites in the French dressing. That was actually the very first bottled dressing that Japan ever had, ever. And then right after that, he dropped Kewpie Mayo, but in a plastic bottle with a sleeve over it. And they trademarked and patented that in the year 1942. And then they came out with Japan's first can of meat sauce, which was also produced by Kewpie as well.
Okay, so the reason why Kewpies are so collectible and there's a lot of them around is because that's the only thing that survived off this food day.
Pretty much,
Nobody
yeah.
made the food stuff.
And fun fact, Kewpie was actually a character in a show. And the show only had like 5 episodes. Nobody really knows anything about it. You can't find the show. If you Google it, there's nothing really there. If you look up Kewpie Baby, the only thing that comes up is the history from Mayo.
Wow, and you know what? We get a lot of people who collect Kewpie dolls.
I
Kewpie
love
dolls,
Kewpies.
Kewpie babies,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's cool. The other thing we're talking about is birthday girls.
Yep.
And what a birthday girl is, Joseph Original, which is the creator of the birthday girl.
Uh-huh.
And most little girls had them growing up because they were a go-to gift because they would show the age on it. And I know you have more, so go ahead. I know they go from age 1 to 21.
Yep. So in 1982, Muriel Joseph George, that was the earliest set of dolls, and they have a white tag with pink flowers. And this is how you can identify what type of birthday doll you have from which maker. 1985, it was then sold to George Good Corporations, and George bought all the rights to Joseph Originals in 1982 to 1983, and he then changed it all to tan hang tags with no flowers. In 2004, it was then sold to Applause Corp, followed by mid-80s, continued by 2000s hang tags of multicolored no flowers. And then you can see how these got bought and resold to different manufacturers, and then you can see how over time they tried to make it better.
Change it. Then they and I know that they produce monthly children, meaning like January, February, March, April, May.
Yep.
They did the birthstone children with the different birthstones in them. And all sorts of stuff as well.
So in 1945 to 1962, that was called the early years. And then from 1945 to 1962, again, you also have the Tilta, the head dolls, which also featured every month of the year.
Right.
And the only thing that made them different was the fact that their head was tilted. Favorite Saying series was from 1950 to 1960. Little International series, the most popular set amongst Muriel, created the 18 dolls in 1959. Right after that, 11 more were added. You also have the Happiness series, that was 1960s. You also have Career Girls 1967, that had a debutante, a nurse, and a teacher. And then they had Little Commandment series, which was 1970s, that was 12 dolls. You had Big Sister, Little Sister, Equology series, and then you also had the Flower Girls, and they also had different flowers as a hat, and that was in 1975.
So some of the things, okay, you look at these, they're birthday girls, right? But there's so I'm all about thinking outside of the box, right? And so when you look at 18, what else happens that these could represent in your lifespan? So of course, 1 through 21, your age.
It could be an anniversary.
Exactly. These are great for anniversaries, you guys, as well. Because if you want to buy your bride, or let's say the girls, like you're standing up and you have 4 girls, you can find 4 number 1s.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you're giving the bride one on the wedding day, then maybe you give them number 1.
And I know our viewers are probably dying to know why Muriel even made these to begin with, because she made one for all of her kids.
For all her kids, yep. But first year anniversary, you buy one if you don't want to give it at wedding day. Second year anniversary, you buy two. Guys, these would be great for somebody who likes to collect Joseph Original or ceramic figurines, vintage ceramic figurines.
What color eyes do they have?
This one has red.
Red? Ooh, scary.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to be.
Signature black eyes were then painted on until 1982, and Joseph Originals and Impressions on the base were the earliest pieces, but the ones that are current are marked M.J. George.
These ones are old. These ones are probably late 80s, early 90s.
Yep, those have the Joseph Original tag on them.
Yep. So, so these are great for that. So, guys, if you're looking for a anniversary gift for your parents or for, well, to 21, yeah, for your parents or for your wife or for somebody who just loves these.
Yeah.
These are great because if you're 18 years married,
perfect.
this is great. 18 years. Your wife, 18 years. You know? Because what happens is you'll find these in all vintage and antique stores because people age out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they only keep them for so long.
Yep.
So then they get moved down. And what Joseph Original's original thought for these were, or her original thought, would be her kids passing them to their kids.
Exactly. That's
you know what I
she
mean?
made those, yeah.
So it maintains the 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck finding 19, 20, and 21 because I have never seen them.
I only got to see pictures when I was researching today.
I've never seen them. So we get 1 through 18 all the time. Never seen 19, 20, and 21. So you guys, school, we do have notebooks. We have vintage notebooks over here.
We have folders,
pens, pencils,
erasers.
all sorts of stuff from some of the greatest TV shows of the 70s, from Betty Boop to I think Mr. T is
There's
over
Garfield,
there. Garfield.
Jurassic Park.
These are things you want to take for grade school, for high school, for college. I don't care if you are 24 years old and you're going to your senior class in college. You walk in with a Hello Kitty notebook,
You already
and
know.
you're already popular.
Yep,
so,
you already know.
you can be 3 years old and walking into kindergarten. Wait, how old is 3? What? I don't know.
You're like, wow, God,
What
not
grade?
3. I feel like maybe I think that's.
I don't know. So you can go from kindergarten with the Hello Kitty and actually walk into your senior class of high school with the Hello Kitty and still be popular, and then you can walk into college or post grad with that same one and still be popular.
Just ask me. I did it.
Yep. So it doesn't always have to be new, you guys. You're going to see me on Monday on the Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen talking about back to college, talking about thinking outside of the box. So watch us on Monday. You're going to see me and Brooke at, I'm going to be representing Time Warp Live, TWL, and Brooke will be there talking about caffeinated, or representing Caffeinated Conversation as we judge the Marysville Hot Wheels pinup contest, which I'm excited about on the 24th, so you have to watch for that. Next week's show, we'll let you know. I don't know what we're going to do.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It'll be fun. And then on the 7th of September, you will see all of us, including Jasmine and David, as well as Brooke and a whole bunch of people. Steve.
Yes.
At the Walk Like Mad event that we do every year. So I'm excited about that. What else is happening? There's a lot. We might have a really cool interview coming up. I don't want to say who it is yet because we're still waiting on final. It's your interview.
I know, but I can't let them know that.
It's
a really
almost there.
It's a really cool group of people from South Philly.
Yep, and we're almost there.
Yes.
So we will give you the actual airing of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And taping of it.
Yep.
As soon as we get final notification.
And as soon as that does, we will make sure you guys are the first to know. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all of our Time Warp Live info, you can go right over to our website, drop in your little email address, and we will send you our non-spammy emails.
Yes.
Which means you will not get an email from us every hour, more like every other week, or maybe once a month, or I don't know. But it just won't be spammy.
And go on and like our page, follow our page, share it, tell everybody about us. Also, watch Caffeinated Conversation. You'll
Yeah.
see me. You'll see her from time to time. You'll see Brooke. Brooke is great at it. You will love her.
And if you guys, again, like Time Warp Live, this will be live again right
Yep.
after we end here, and then it'll be posted on YouTube tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys aren't really familiar with the IG or the FB, that's cool. YT also has it available, again, for anybody to rewatch over
That's
and over
YouTube
again.
for all you old people.
And please, like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free,
Yeah,
and it only
we're
takes
at
5 seconds.
550 followers on our subscribers on YouTube.
Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Which,
whoop, whoop.
you know, I look at some and they have thousands, but you know what? I've never paid
Right.
for anything on
Exactly.
YouTube. Never. I have boosted our show once or twice in the past, if there were big names.
Sure, yeah.
But I have never paid on YouTube, and we have 500 plus, so I'm happy about that.
So let's just keep it going.
It's all organic.
Yeah.
But if you haven't followed us, follow us.
It only takes 30 seconds,
Because
and
you-
it'll make us very happy.
And you'll see us pop on every now and then outside of our normal show.
And we also take suggestions, so
Yep.
if you guys ever want to hear us talk about something specific, please let us know.
Absolutely. Now that we're splitting our show into different categories, we can talk about smaller
Segments,
things like
yeah.
that. Smaller segments.
But until next Tuesday, we'll see you guys
Yep.
then.
Bye, you guys.
Bye IG, bye Facebook.
Good. She can get all up in your business
Yep,
today.
like I do every week. Wow.